I will never find a woman. So for the past 10 years, I did not go on any dates. What happened through the program is a transformation in my personal view about my life, about my sexuality, about my relationship, about intimacy. I ended up going on 3 dates in person, three
Hmm.
different women.
My name is Steph Shambo from the Tantric Man Experience. So, welcome to this show today. I'm super excited to present to you Jake. Jake, it's wonderful to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So let's dive in here, and we just want to hear about your story here in the Tantric Man Experience. So, what was going on with you before you started? What was the like issues and struggles you were having in your love life?
So I would say I did not have a love life at all. I got married at a very young age and I got divorced about 10 years ago is when I got separated and then followed um, getting divorced. And something in me, I had that message that I will never find a woman that will be willing to accept me for who I am.
Hmm.
So for the past 10 years, I did not go on any dates. I would say over the spread of the 10 years, I've probably been maybe five or a max of 10 dates altogether. And none of them went anywhere, maybe one date or a second date, except one time when there was this woman who really wanted to date me and asked me out.
Mhm.
And we started dating, but less than a month, I backed off and I couldn't continue. I mean, I didn't know why.
Yeah.
I had so much shame around my sexuality that it just didn't seem possible that anybody would ever want to deal with that or
Yeah.
be with that.
Because you've been single
Yeah,
for 10 years, right? You've been single for 10 years and you're not in your masculine power of choosing the women, right? The women are choosing you. So you feel like you're kind of complying to that and you say, oh, I take whatever is offered, but it's not really your 100% choice because you didn't choose that. You let the women choose you, right? So you felt maybe this was the issue.
the issue was that I was a victim of sexual molestation from a young age, and I was shamed for it. That because of that, I carried a very heavy load around sexuality. I was openly distrusted by close people in my life because of that situation.
Hmm.
And I knew I cannot be trusted. So I was terrified of women.
Right.
I put women on a pedestal in a way that there is no way possible that I will be able to have someone in my life and
Mm.
be able to marry someone or just even having um, an intimate relationship and a connection. And that brought me to um, having a porn addiction.
Hmm.
And I also suppressed my feelings through masturbating.
Hmm.
From that place, a few years ago, I started going to a 12-step program for my sexuality issues, my sex issues, for my sex troubles. And what happened now was that I was longing for a relationship, but I couldn't get there. I was able to see how much I'm acting out because I'm afraid of intimate relationship, of intimacy, but I couldn't pass the wall of accepting that I am okay. And I can be accepted for who I am.
Right.
Many areas in my life, we things in my life were flourishing, but in this area, I couldn't pass through the idea that I can be seen for who I am. I can be
Mm.
accepted for who I am. I
Wow.
can be liked for who I am.
Yeah.
That was just not something that I was able to vision even.
Yeah. And how did that make you feel? Like going 10 years is a long time, right? So like how was that experience for you? And I bet it was, pretty rough for you, right?
I was in a fog. I wasn't clear what was going on. And only the past few years I started doing work around different areas in my life. It started becoming clear what is happening, which has brought me to this point and had a pretty clear picture of what is it that I need. I acted out a lot, many different ways, in ways that I needed to use outside help to help me get back into dealing with my pain versus acting out and suppressing my pain.
Mm.
Because of that, I didn't even know that my dating is the issue. I
Mm.
would think that I have a porn issue or
Right.
a masturbation issue, not thinking that my dating is an issue. I truly believe that people can't be with me. There was
Right.
something in me that couldn't even pass through the line that no, this is just in your head.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a self-love, self-acceptance. So maybe not feeling worthy of love, right? And because I remember when we spoke a few months ago, you just watched me on the embodiment conference, right? And we had a phone
Yeah.
call, and you were saying like, I don't know if anything is going to work. I've been trying so many different things and hasn't been working. And there was a lot of fear and doubt, right? But eventually you took that leap of faith and you joined. And then what happened? Like, how is your relationship now to women? How has that changed?
I would like to point out that I had wonderful relationships with women, and some of my closest friends are women and wonderful women. The minute I would see them from a place that this might be more than just friendships, that's when it got complicated because I couldn't see myself passing to a point where this could become something more. What happened through the program is a transformation in my personal view about my life, about my sexuality, about my relationship, about intimacy, about other women, about seeing myself equal with others, even intimacy in a romantic life, in a way that I ended up going on 3 dates in person, three
Hmm.
different women, which each of them I felt were not for me. So I did not pursue for the second date, neither of them. But
So
something
you had
even
you had the
more,
option basically. You had the option and you felt now you're in control. You are being the masculine here, and you are approaching these women and you have different options to choose from, but then your heart told you like, no, this is not exactly what I want. So you continued, right? So this, you're really much in your power. I just wanted to point that out to everyone that you, it's not like you could maybe be in a relationship, but you're so much in your power. You know what you want now. So you've been going on multiple dates and just feeling into what is your truth, right? And not jumping the gun and just like, oh, here is an opportunity. But not just that, but what is my truth? What is my heart saying in this, right?
yes, within those dates, I was able to recognize a profound change in myself, which is the few dates that I have gone in the past. After each date, I was always left with shame, disappointment, anger. So I wouldn't even consider of looking of going on to another date. Versus this time, each date was information. Each date was a learning experience, an exploring experience, was an investment, time, money, energy. There was joy of doing it. There was fulfillment when the next day feeling that I have accomplished something. And I shared it and talked about it versus in the past, I had shame around it. I openly discussed it with people. I went on a date. This happened. This is the situation. And at the same time, even with the women that I was on a date, I was openly expressing, okay, this is what I'm feeling. So that's how I'm going to pursue. And that's how I'm going to continue with this. And for whatever reason, each of them did not work out. But even more profound happened, which I'm looking at it on a much bigger transformation for me, breakthrough, which is going on a date, someone that I've met online dating site has been challenging, but it hasn't been that difficult because I knew tomorrow I'm never going to know this person again. We don't know each other's circles. If I do end up messing up, no big deal. Over the past couple of weeks, I was able to take the step of asking out two people in my circle, two people that we have a very strong family tribe connection, which is my community, my life community, my friends, my career, everything. Within that community, I took the strength and courage of asking out two different people in two different situations. And why is that so big? Is because every time I was always afraid that dating is going to end up messy. That it was that image from the past, my experience from the past, that there is something wrong with dating. There is something wrong with sexuality or pursuing sexuality, which dating is in a way pursuing sexuality, intimacy. That idea had a heavy weight weighing on me. Somehow this weight was lifted, and with the support of others, brothers in the program, I took that step one time and I was able to take it on my own a second time. Profoundly amazing response to both situations. It's not so much the point of what the response was, it's the fact that I was able to ask and how I felt after asking and taking those steps and where it is going. Each of them are
Right.
going in different ways, in different directions. And it's just like beautifully amazing to watch this, like watch this experience from an outside of myself. It's
Yeah.
mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
Amazing. Amazing, Jake. Amazing. And just to clarify for people watching this, so you went from, trying to date maybe on different apps or things like that, and having this way of you can always hide, you can always disappear. So it's easy like that. So you were never really fully letting yourself to be seen, but these two you did two approaches, right, in your community where you know these people and they know your friends, so there's no hiding. It's like everyone gets to hear and witness this, and that is like a huge breakthrough, right? Because it means that you are showing up completely different. You are willing to be seen, you're willing to take the risk
Yes.
of maybe be humiliated, whatever, or whatever feelings we think of rejection,
Yes.
right? But you took that, so that then it's like so much confidence that has been needed to be built to be able to make this step, and not just once but twice within these 9 weeks only. And that's a huge thing, right? I just want to really emphasize on that, because you are talking, it can just sound like a very casual thing, but this is a huge step that you've been taking in such a short time, right? So I think that's fantastic. So fantastic. So how are these women responding to you now when you have more of this confidence and this presence, and are just able to be honest and truthful of how you feel? And so can you talk about that, and how does that make you feel?
As mentioned before, I was terrified of women, especially women that I was attracted to, because I was afraid I'm going to mess up, which in the past I have gotten hurt in an awful way because of something I didn't cause. So it felt like I don't have control around it and I might get hurt. So I kind of like held myself back of taking huge steps. during the past 9 weeks, I was able to find a lot of clarity, a lot of acceptance, and a lot of trust. I would say a lot of trust because for what happened on the second person within my circle of friendships that I've asked out, it happened within a phone call. We were on the phone, and this is a person we speak often, and we have a connection. We have known each other for a while, for a long time. But at the same time, I like this person a lot. Never occurred to me to even ask her out. It didn't even cross my mind that this might be a chance because I didn't see myself on a level, on an equal level with that person to date. Anywhere else, yes. Friendships,
Mm.
connections, doing work together, helping each other out, supporting each other, holding each other when we need each other. Yes. In that place, absolutely, but not crossing the line in dating. And it was a few days ago, I'm having this long conversation with the person. And while I'm on the phone, the idea of asking her out opened up through this program. And here I am on the phone with her, and it crosses my mind. Wow, we were having a very intimate conversation, which could have happened in the past too. But this time, I noticed that it's time to ask her out. And the thought that went through my head was, if I hang up this call without asking her out, then I will feel horrible. I will feel disappointed. I will feel demolished about myself. And I needed to get all my courage and strength together and say the few words to this person, you know, Miss So and so, I like you a lot. I'm attractive to you. And I would like to ask you out on a date. How does that
Mm.
land? How do you feel about that? The conversation continued for another hour. We went extremely
Wow.
deep. It's not the point is not what the outcome of the answer was. The point was that the relationship got stronger, and where it's gonna go, neither of us know yet where it's gonna go. But trusting, allowing, being, accepting, and recognizing that it's possible. I was coming from a place of like always seeing it's not possible to a place where it is possible. That's what shifted.
Mm.
I couldn't see it possible. And what shifted, it is possible. So when I can visualize and continue visualizing that it's possible, from that place, I'm able to take steps towards it.
Wow. Wow. And I just have to say, like, Jake, I can really see this transformation in you. I know the other brothers in the program that have said the same thing. It's almost like the transformation is in your face, right? You can see it in your eyes. And if we think back about the Jake when we talked first time, that was doubtful and fearful and having these limiting beliefs that you would never have a relationship again, or you never have a sexual encounter again. Like sexual energy is dirty, I don't deserve that, and all those things, to
Yeah,
now when we call you Super Jake, right, in this program, like you're really
yeah,
stepping up and shining, being a leader in there, and you're developing this confidence, real confidence, not just faking and saying word, but coming from within. And you actually took this step, if I can share, of teaching your first ever class online, and you just filled with so much gratitude, because if you hadn't done this work within the program, you felt you haven't been able to teach this class. And so can you tell me, how do you feel now being Super Jake, doing all this amazing stuff?
you touched on something which I would like to emphasize. It's the word that sex was dirty. Growing up in an extreme religious environment, I was given the message that sex is dirty, sex is bad, sex is awful. Later, when unfortunately I ended up being a victim in sexuality, I was even more shamed, distrusted around sex. So, sex itself had a very bad image and strong, heavy language to ever express it in a regular way, in a healthy way, looking at it from a healthy perspective. And that had shifted completely, completely shifted. Sex through the program is seen as a spiritual act, as a spiritual experience. And I wanted to emphasize that how much that itself shifted. And from that place, interacting with women to see them from a healthy place, all of it had completely shifted. You asked a question though, and I went back to what you mentioned before.
Yeah.
What was your question?
How does it feel to be this new you, this new version of yourself, and after this transformation happening and having this newfound confidence and this presence with women, like how does that all feel to you now in your life? How is your life different?
My life is changing so fast. We had this talk of like a conversation like, is it possible to have a fast transformation, a fast change, and a fast track? It is changing on a speed, on a high speed. As you mentioned, I recently taught a class online, my first class, and it was a phenomenal, phenomenal outcome. A powerful, powerful, powerful experience. And the response that I've received from the people that I've taught, and this is a conscious movement class, and it was an amazing experience where I have been able to take these steps further than I've ever thought, further than I've ever believed in every area in my life because I feel more present, more accepting of myself, more trusting of myself. And I also see a future. Something that I had this vision that I will always be alone had changed. It's not that I'm married now. It's not that I have a girlfriend today. I don't. I'm single. But I look at it from a place of that's where I am today. It will change very soon. And I have confidence in that. It will change very soon. And I see the response that I've been receiving from women. I see the response that I'm receiving from myself and people around me. People are drawn towards me in a way that, in a profound way, which I haven't seen before. I was blocked. I couldn't see it before. I didn't allow myself to see it. Had opened up. It is changing in every area, in every area. Another point that comes to my mind right now, which had changed. I cut out a lot of people in my life.
Mm.
I cut out a lot of people in my life over the past couple of months
Hmm.
in a way that not that they are bad, but needing to make these huge changes and different visions on myself. People that have seen me, the old me, and they couldn't come on this fast track with me, I needed to let go. The people that have stayed in my life became so much stronger, so much tighter, so much more supportive to each other, holding each other in such a beautiful, profound way. That itself is a gift.
Mm. And of course, it's just a matter of time before you're in a relationship that you've been longing for 10 years. Because now, when you are this man who is conscious, present, aware of himself, and very natural and authentic with women, that is something that women in this world are so much longing for and craving, those kind of men. And you said that women are kind of just drawn to you now. And that's exactly why, because you've done this work within the program that allow yourself to just be that man that women really crave and love. So you become someone that is very desirable, the qualities that is very desirable for women. So now it's just a matter of choosing. Yeah, you've been on 3 dates, you asked out 2 other people, right? So now you just have the option to find the best, what suits you, right? And your needs, and not just taking the first opportunity that arises because you do it out of scarcity or something. No, now it's different. You do it through being empowered, an empowered decision, right? So
Yes.
I would be happy to follow up with another video and just talk about after your relationship as well and see what changes then, so Any last words you would like to say? If single men are watching this and they're really inspired by your story here, and they can recognize themselves of like they've been single for a while, they have not been on dates, and they feel this also shame and fear around sexuality and maybe even women, right? What would you tell them? Any words of wisdom for them? Because you've been there recently.
There is a couple of thoughts that come into my mind. One, not to give away the program. However, it is possible to be in touch with your sexual energy while you're single. You don't have to suppress your sexual energy while you're single. You don't have to run after women and manipulate women and trick women because to receive and get in touch with your sexual energy. And this program offers that to you. This program gives it to you. Yeah, it might sound strange, but that's true. This program gives it to you, and that is absolutely amazing. And from that place, I can be more authentic. And authenticity is my number one value
Yeah.
in myself and in the woman that I want to date. So when I ask a woman, or I express to a woman that this is how I feel towards you, if she cannot handle that, then this is, of course, not a person that I would want to date.
Yeah.
It could be the answer could be no, and that's okay. I need to be able to express what I'm feeling, and it's so healthy and normal and beautiful to be able to express that this is the feelings that I have towards you because I'm human, and that's a human feeling and a human expression, which is wonderful. One other thing that I wanted to mention, which is profoundly beautiful that you have created here, Steffo, is a spiritual brotherhood, something that I've missed in my life. There are tons of women retreats, women programs, women gatherings. It's so not to say that it's diminishing that that's not important. It is important and beautiful, but there aren't as many for men. There aren't as many spiritual gatherings, brotherhoods, the way there is as many or as easy to find the way it is for women. And this is what we have here. It's a brotherhood. It's a strong, authentic, open, honest relationship with the others on the group. And I am forever grateful for that.
Mm. Awesome. Yeah, I love that. And if guys, if you're watching this and you want to embark on the same journey as Jake, where it all started was that he watched this training that I have on my website, right? So if you want to do exactly what
Yeah.
Jake did, he went to watch this training. So you just go there, watch the training. I might just put a link also under this video if you want to just click there and go ahead and watch that training. So yeah, Jake, it's been a pleasure to have you on here and to hear your story. It's such an inspirational, amazing story of Super Jake, and just looking forward to seeing you getting into that amazing relationship and life that you want. So, any last words?
I am forever grateful for the work you have put in and created this program. I will end with that. You have definitely created something that it's worth every penny. It's worth the investment. And I remember you told me before I signed up, it is not for everyone, but it was definitely for me. And there are many out there. If you feel this might be for you, trust it because this is almost for sure for you. It's a lot of
Mm.
work, but it's worth it. It doesn't happen. It's work and it's worth it. And I'm so, so incredibly grateful for trusting my intuition and going with it and diving in. And here I am. Thank you.
Much love, brother. Stay strong out there. Take care. Bye bye.
The Tantric Man Experience. Unleash your masculine power, passion, and purpose.